This is Supercharged Science with Mr. Cox. We're going to talk today about how to extract DNA from strawberries. We've been learning in school about DNA lately, and we're going to show you how you can do this on your own. If you're at home and you don't have beakers, you don't have graduated cylinders, you don't have pipettes, you don't have scientific filter paper, you don't have test tubes and test tube racks, you can substitute for cups. You can use a coffee filter paper instead of scientific filter paper. You can use cups and put the filter paper in it. And the other things you're going to need is some baggies with Ziplocs on them, some table salt, a little bit of laundry detergent, strawberries. They can be fresh or frozen, and some rubbing alcohol, 70%. It's best if you put this in the refrigerator for a while. You can put it in a freezer like I did, but you just don't want to leave it there for a real long time. It takes pretty low temperatures to freeze isopropyl alcohol. But I'm going to go ahead and start with the strawberries. So you'll need a Ziploc baggie. Now, when you do this, you want to smush the strawberries up, but you don't need to be like a massive destroyer and make a mess and all that. You can just smash them up in there nicely. I'm going to Ziploc this up because the rest of them I can keep in the freezer until I'm ready to eat them. So I'm going to take 2 strawberries. I'm going to close it and smash it. So again, you don't want to get brutal with it. You'll make a mess. You just need to smash them up a little bit. That one's being a little difficult, so I'm going to have to use a little more force on. There we go. Because these are frozen. And I've had them laying out for a little bit so they'd warm up some, but they're still pretty well frozen. I can still feel the iciness in them. The DNA is still there, however. Smashed up in a nice strawberry smash like this. Again, be careful you don't get these all over your clothes and stain a good shirt or good shoes or something like that, you know. Yeah, that's my strawberry smash. I could probably do a little better and get that smashed up real good right there like that. You probably want some paper towel on hand too. I have some trusty Kim wipes since I'm in a lab. When it comes to like pulling the DNA out of the final liquid, I'm going to use a pipette. You can use a coffee stirrer if you need to, if you're at home. Well, this is being smashed up here real good. I'm going to take one of my 2 beakers. I'm going to put about a half a cup of water, which, let's see what that is in milliliters. About 120, 130, something like that, about 120, 30 milliliters of water, or half a cup. You need to take a teaspoon of salt. Teaspoon's your smaller spoon. It's not a tablespoon, it's a teaspoon's fine. You swirl that all up in there real good. I'm going to use a different spoon because then I'm going to get the laundry detergent in cooking things. This is happens to be straight borax. And I'm going to put a couple teaspoons in there. I got a little too much, so I'm not going to put quite as much in the next batch. Clean this up, just put that right back in there so I don't leave a mess for class. You want that to get dissolved fairly well. Now, I'm going to take this, once it gets fairly well dissolved, I'm going to actually use the spoon because it's not dissolving as well as I would like to see it dissolve. I had some little chunks of detergent there. Not the end of the world if you get some chunks in there, but it works better if you're having too much chunkiness going on there. Now, I've got my strawberry smash. Again, you don't want to eat those once you start putting the detergent in here and then the isopropyl alcohol and things like that, then it becomes poisonous. But we're going to put the detergent in there. Boom. I'm going to leave the chunky part out. So, like I said, I got a little too much of the borax in there anyway. Reseal the bag. I'm going to try to get some of the air out of here so there's more room to smush it around without blowing it up. You don't want to explode this. So this time you're not going to want to really be rough with it. You're just kind of massage it in there. Now you want to take a second beaker. Put them with the borax beaker over here out of the way. Take the second beaker. I'm going to use a funnel since I have it, and a scientific filter. I only need one of these. I don't need a bunch of them. So the best way to do this with these scientific filters, like it's a coffee filter, sometimes you don't need to do this. They come like that. I just fold it half, then in quarters, then in eighths, so that when you take it, kind of unfold it where it's open. Again, you're just going to double one of these down like this so you get a little cone shape. Now you want to make sure the strawberries and the strawberry mash all goes into the filter paper and not around it. So you need to use some care doing this. I'm going to pour it into the filter paper. Let it drip through. I may not use the whole strawberry smash this time because, well, let's see. It's going through fairly well. We may be able to put it all just a little bit at a time, so you don't want to overwhelm the filter paper and have strawberry particles that you don't need going down into the bottom of this. You need to wait for it to drip through. Yeah, I'm going to be able to get it pretty much all in here, I think. I just had to do it a little bit at a time to avoid too much breakthrough and mess. Once it gets dripped through real good, I'm going to take some, I'm letting that drip, some isopropyl alcohol, preferably chilled. Like I said, this one has a pop top. I've removed the safety seal there. And this way I can, without shooting it in your eye, see I've got safety eyewear on just in case. I'm going to measure out about 10 milliliters of this isopropyl alcohol. You can go with a little less. 10 milliliters should be good. I'm going to bring this other beaker back over here. Just to avoid a mess. Now I'm going to pour this isopropyl alcohol into the strawberry juice mixture. I shouldn't call it juice, it's not to drink. The strawberry mixture that has come through on the bottom. You want to swirl it gently for a little while. And then you can use a stirring rod or a pipette. I'm going to have my handy dandy test tube here because I want to pull the DNA out and save it. You don't have to, but I'm going to see if I can find the DNA. After it's stirred a little bit. I probably could have used just a little bit less of the isopropyl alcohol. You can actually extract the DNA strings right through here. There's a gob of it on here. Sometimes with the stirring rod you can just pull it out like in strings. Another thing you can do, if this isn't becoming very satisfactory, I'm going to put a second filter paper here. I put a little too much isopropyl alcohol, so I want to make sure I can find the DNA really well. It's here. I'm going to gently pour this mixture through the filter paper. Soak out there a little bit, and we'll find some DNA. I see some floating around in there. I think I might have liked the stirring rod technique a little better. But you can pull the DNA right out of there. There was a piece of it. Here we go. There's some strawberry DNA right there. See that? I'm going to put it here. Sometimes with the string rod you can pull big strings of it out. I'm getting smaller blobs of it out, but that's definitely the DNA. I have the DNA in this liquid here. You can pull it out and you can study the DNA. Sometimes, like I say, you can take a stirring rod and string it out. This one I used the pipette, and I'm pulling some of it out a little bit at a time, separating it from the fluid, pulling that DNA out, putting it in this container, in this test tube. So that's your DNA extraction. You can try that on your own at home, see how long the strings of it you can get. This is actually the strawberry DNA. Thank you.